Agape love and romantic love are two profoundly different expressions of the human heart, yet in many ways, they intersect and shape how we relate, commit, and give ourselves to others. Understanding the distinction between them requires examining their origins, nature, expressions, and ultimate ends. Agape, rooted in the Greek concept of divine love, is often described as unconditional, self-giving, and sacrificial. Romantic love, also known by the Greek term eros, is more personal, passionate, and often conditional, driven by desire, attachment, and emotional resonance. To truly grasp the difference between agape and romantic love, we must explore them from philosophical, psychological, spiritual, and emotional lenses. Origins and etymology. Agape comes from ancient Greek and is prominently used in the New Testament to describe God's love for humanity and the kind of love believers are called to show to God and others. It is not based on emotion, attraction, or personal fulfillment, but rather on commitment, goodwill, and sacrifice. It is the love that gives even when it receives nothing in return. Romantic love, often represented by eros, also has Greek roots. In classical thought, eros was more than sexual desire. It was a yearning for beauty, wholeness, and completion. Plato viewed eros as a stepping stone to higher forms of love, eventually leading to agape. However, in modern usage, romantic love is typically emotional, passionate, and oriented toward mutual desire and connection. 2. The core differences. 1. Conditional versus unconditional. Romantic love often thrives on reciprocity. We love because someone loves us back, because they attract us, or because they meet a need. Agape love transcends conditions. It loves regardless of merit, behavior, or reciprocation. 2. Desire versus will. Romantic love arises out of desire, physical, emotional, or spiritual. Agape love is an act of the will. It chooses the good of the other even when desire fades or is absent. 3. Temporal versus eternal. Romantic love often changes with time, mood, chemistry, and circumstance. Agape love endures. It reflects God's constancy and is not swayed by external variables. 4. Possessiveness versus freedom. Romantic love can become possessive. The lover wants to hold, to keep, to consume. Agape love is about freedom. It does not clutch or demand. It releases the other into their fullest self, even at cost. 3. Psychological and emotional dimensions. From a psychological standpoint, romantic love stimulates reward centers in the brain: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin. It provides emotional highs, fantasies, and deep attachments. Romantic love, particularly in its early stages, can mirror addiction in its neurological impact. Agape love, in contrast, activates moral reasoning, empathy, and long-term bonding. It is deeply tied to a sense of purpose, integrity, and ethical living. While romantic love seeks pleasure and fulfillment, agape seeks truth and sacrifice. In secure romantic relationships, agape and eros often blend. A couple may begin with romance, but over time, mature into self-giving commitment, a sign of agape shaping the foundation. However, not all romantic love matures into agape, and when it doesn't, it often collapses under unmet expectations. IV. Spiritual and theological dimensions. Agape love is most powerfully seen in the life of Christ. In John chapter 15 verse 13, Jesus says, "Greater love has no one than this, that one lay down his life for his friends." That is the heart of agape, laying down one's life. It is also echoed in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, where love is patient, kind, not self-seeking, and never fails. Romantic love is celebrated in Scripture, e.g., Song of Songs, but it is never exalted above agape. Marriage, in the Christian worldview, is meant to be an icon of agape, embodying covenant, faithfulness, and sacrificial love. But when romance becomes the sole foundation of a relationship, it risks becoming idolatrous or collapsing under the weight of idealization. Agape reflects God's love for us, calling us to love even our enemies, Luke chapter 6 verse 35, whereas romantic love typically focuses on those who appeal to us or fulfill our longings. V in relationships and marriage. Romantic love may ignite the flame of a relationship, but agape keeps it burning. Without agape, romance is vulnerable to disillusionment. Infatuation fades. Eros cools. Challenges arise. Only agape can carry a couple through sickness, financial stress, betrayal, or aging. Agape says, "I choose you, not because you make me happy, but because I have vowed to love you. I forgive you, even when you don't deserve it. I will serve you, even when I feel empty." Romantic love, when joined with agape, becomes holy. It is not erased but purified, moved from self-centered craving to other-centered communion. V. Agape love in action. Agape shows itself not through emotion but through action. Feeding the hungry. Caring for the sick. Staying in a marriage during dry seasons. Refusing to gossip. Praying for enemies. Choosing honesty over flattery. Remaining loyal in private. These actions may not stir the heart like poetry or passion, but they build the kind of deep union that can withstand every storm. Romantic love may write beautiful songs or grand declarations, but agape scrubs toilets, holds hands in hospice, and forgives 70 times 7. 7. Dangers of confusion. When romantic love is mistaken for agape, relationships can suffer. Many enter marriage expecting constant romance, only to be blindsided by hardship. Others chase butterflies and novelty, abandoning partners the moment emotions shift. Some endure toxic relationships out of romantic obsession, thinking it is noble or eternal, when in fact it is unrequited and harmful. Conversely, when agape is divorced from romance, love becomes sterile, duty without delight. A healthy relationship blends both, the fire of Eros, guided and nourished by the strength of agape. 8. Philosophical reflections. C.S. Lewis, in The Four Loves, writes that Eros is the most easily corrupted of the loves, but also one of the most beautiful. It pulls us out of ourselves, but can also pull us into madness. Agape, by contrast, is always holy. It demands of us a moral and spiritual maturity. Romantic love says, "You complete me." Agape says, "I want your good, even if it costs me." Ix. Agape as a way of life. Agape is not reserved only for religious people or monks. It is the daily invitation of every human life. It's seen when a parent sacrifices sleep for a child, when a friend forgives deeply, when a stranger helps another with no reward. In these moments, we transcend ego. In a culture that idolizes romantic love and dismisses commitment when the spark fades, agape is radical. It stands against the tide of disposability. It doesn't ask, "How do you make me feel?" It asks, "How can I love you better?" X. Conclusion. Complementary, not opposing. Agape and romantic love are not enemies. One elevates the other. Romantic love is the beautiful beginning, the sunrise. Agape is the long daylight, steady, warm, illuminating. Romantic love often begins in fantasy. Agape lives in reality. To love another human being well is to move from the high of romance to the deep truth of agape. To say not just, "I love you," but "I will love you, always." That is the difference. That is the power. That is the call.